What's going on, Pursuit fam? Coach Stefan here. I'm with one of our clients, Leroy. I'm at the coffee shop, so try to make the connection as good as possible. But yeah, man, I appreciate you jumping on. If you don't mind, can you just introduce yourself? Just kind of like your name, your age, what you do for work. People have some context, and then we'll kind of dive in, man.
Yeah, I'm Leroy Garig. I work with the Central Fire Department. Joined Pursuit maybe 5 months ago, I believe. Been a firefighter for right at 9 years now, and just trying to get them gains.
Yeah, and you're a dad. You have kids. How many kids do you have?
I got 3 kids. I got a 12-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Two boys and a little girl.
Yeah, dad life, man. So you got a
That's
lot
right.
going on. You got a
Yeah.
lot going on, and I think that's important for people to know because not only is being a first responder, obviously, specifically a firefighter, like a really busy job. You got a lot going on. I know you work extra jobs too, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
I got
plus,
4 jobs.
plus you got 3 kids, and it's good for people to know because if they're like, "I'm busy," I'm like, "Yeah, but not like Leroy," right? So that's the really common theme with a lot of our clients, right? Is man, how can I get fitness to work into me, like my schedule, my goals, my lifestyles? So, first question I have, man, is what made you join Pursuit in the first place? What were, I guess, like what was the drive, and what were your main goals when you joined the program?
Man, just shooting straight. It's just didn't do too well on a job one day, and I was like, man, I got to do better, be better, and I wanted to be better for myself and my family. Your family comes first, and your health is extremely important. So I'll say, like, just getting that, putting my health first, it just made a big impact on my life. And then found you guys, which I'm glad I did because y'all's program just worked really well for me.
Yeah, yeah, dude, you've been crushing it. And I know you guys
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
see. I wish I had your photos up, but like you came in what I would consider like pretty good shape, actually. You didn't have like a high body fat percentage. Um, I know you're like, hey, my cardio is kind of not as good as it could be, but you just kind of wanted to take things to the next level, right? And I know you
That's
were working out at home, right? So you were kind of limited on like equipment and time. Um, let's like talk about some metrics if you have some metrics. When you joined the program, what were some goals, like specific goals you had?
I definitely well, I started out about 200 pounds. I guess I wouldn't say I was overweight by no means, but I definitely wanted to get like a little more shredded. I wanted to get a better chest, like little things like that I wanted to, because I wanted to like boost my self confidence. Which not only did I get muscle and things like that, but also was able to boost my confidence up. Because once you know that you look good, it just makes it better. And I can't explain it into words, but
Yeah, right. So you just felt like, if I'm hearing you correctly, you felt like you weren't doing bad, but you were kind of leaving some results on the table for sure, right?
yes, yes,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
Right.
Yeah, and I know when we had a conversation, you're like, it's not that I don't know what to do, but if I'm being super honest, I don't actually have a strategic plan. Like, I know the basics, I know like some muscle groups and things like that, but I don't know like sets, reps, volume, phases, right?
100%. I was doing random stuff and like just throwing stuff together, not knowing what I was doing. I guess what Coach Josh told me I was doing was circuit workouts,
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, like they were effective, but once I joined the program, the difference between the doing just random workouts to actually having a set plan and a coach giving you this set guideline of plans and being on your case saying, hey, you need to stay on top of this. Really, it makes it worth it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because the thing too is like I think for a lot of firefighters in our program, and we got a lot, is you graduate the academy, which is like very specific firefighting stuff, right?
It
And
is.
then what happens is you graduate the academy, and then most people try to kind of emulate that a little bit, right? You're like, oh, I'll
Yeah.
do a little bit of that, and then eventually, after like maybe a year or 6 months, you're like, I don't know, I'll look on Instagram and I'll do this circuit and I found this online. And then we're just kind of throwing things at the wall. And the analogy I always give is like just any goal, right? If like I have a financial goal would you hit your financial goal and be more successful if you just like randomly did things online and kind of save money here or there and like cut back, or go to somebody that goes, this is how you're going to get to this financial goal, do this, this, and this, right?
Right.
Pretty clear cut and
Yes.
dry. And that's
Yes.
kind of what we do. And a decent amount of our clients come in with some knowledge, right? Like you, like
Yeah, I
some of
have
them.
zero knowledge, zero, none.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well, and what I mean by base knowledge is you went through the academy, you're a
yeah,
firefighter, you're working
yeah,
out.
right.
But yes, as far as like programming. So what do you feel like your biggest challenge was before joining the program that held you back from being successful? Was it like just knowledge?
Oh, without a doubt, the knowledge of workouts in general. I didn't know the names of all the stuff. I didn't know how to perform it correctly. Like form,
Yeah.
extremely important. And that's another thing, Coach Josh. If I have any questions, he helps me, get that form down because it's extremely important because you'll hurt yourself. Number one, I
Yeah.
mean, and then if you're not doing it right, you're going to hurt yourself. Number one, number two, you're not even going to get the gains that you could be getting because you're not doing it right.
Right. And I think that that maybe is an overlooked thing in this industry,
It is big,
because it's
big.
like you have a job that is extremely physical and your body is high. I mean, your job is 100% dependent on your body, physically and mentally. And so if you get injured, nobody wants to go to light duty, right? And obviously, I can't sit here and be like, oh, if you do our program, you'll never be injured. But very, very, very few people get injured doing our program. They get injured on the job or doing random workouts. And what we have to look at is like, their exercise science is a science. I mean, people get certifications and degrees, like a lot of our coaches, bachelor's or master's degrees. So we go to college for this to learn effective programming to obviously do specific performance and things, whether that's cardio, speed, agility, all those things. And I know for you, if and correct me if I'm wrong, but since you joined the program, you've really improved in every area. You've got stronger, your cardio's got better, your endurance got better, your arms look huge. Like I see your picture, you've gained muscle. Like there really hasn't been an area that you haven't improved. Is that correct?
Yes. I will also put in that they'll give you that blueprint, but you've got to put in the work.
Mhm.
You got to put in the work. If you don't put in the work, it's not going to work for you, and you're wasting time and your money.
Yeah, well,
But
dude, it's not a magic pill, right? Like,
right,
and you've been putting in the work, and a lot of our
yeah,
clients do. Like,
you've
and
got
that's kind
to.
of yeah, man. And that's why we have an interview kind of process, right? It's like I want to meet you. I want to make sure that you're going to be a good fit for the program because it's kind of a disservice if we let you in and you fail. Now,
Right.
obviously, you've been pretty well in the program, but
Oh
I am
yes.
kind of curious. What were your like fears slash hesitations before joining the program?
So going in, number one, not knowing nothing about working out, and then two, going in not knowing anything about the industry of online coaching.
Mhm.
It wasn't really like the thought of it being like a scam quote or whatever like that. I mean, with the fact that all the interviews and it was very clear that it was legit. It was just like I just didn't know anything about it. Like I had no knowledge, didn't know how it
Yeah.
would work. I didn't know if it would fit my already busy schedule. But it's like y'all work with us, and y'all want to see us win, and
Mhm.
y'all put us first,
Is it?
and that's what I'm more thankful of over everything is like you really put who you work with first. Y'all really do. And I just really want to say thank you for that.
Yeah, man. You're
Like
welcome.
we're not just a number.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was an important thing for me. I've been in the industry for like 15 years, so I've seen it all. I've seen the just a number of companies, and I've also seen really good companies. And a really, really big thing is this like I guess I just say it's a high level customer service. I use that a lot because I think like the coaching industry doesn't use that word, and I'm like, no, that's what it is. Like it's just like good customer service and obviously good systems and stuff to make sure your coach is checking in with you. They're not missing things. They're attentive, things like that.
Right.
Um, and for you, like some of the fears, you're like, man, is this going to be a good investment? Right. I've never done online coaching, by the way. Like, and I'm sure you know this, and we kind of talked about this. Like, I don't know, I'd say 95% of our clients never did online coaching. So it's a super normalized kind of fear and hesitation. Like, how is this going to work? And I always tell people, like, don't get too caught up there. Right. Because you
Right.
kind of talk yourself out of it. Like, I want to know everything and how it's going to work, and then I'll make a decision if it's going to work. I'm like, no, 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 no. We're going too far. Look at the people that have done it. Interviews like this, where you have four jobs, three kids, insanely busy. And it's like, if you can do it, don't worry about every little micro detail. The proof's in the pudding. We've done it with people. We're continuing to do it with people. Because my thing is, you've been in this program for 5 months. Is it just you that's winning, or is it other people too?
Oh, the people around me for sure, because like they see the difference. Number one, is my wife and my family. They see it, and me actually working out and doing better for myself has actually inspired my wife, my son, coworkers. Like it makes a big difference to all those around you.
Yeah. Well, what about people in the program? Because I know you participate in our community. Like, are you the only one getting results?
No, without a doubt, everyone in the community. That's why I'm glad that we transitioned to where everything's like on the pursuit instead of having the
Mhm.
school app. Great
Yeah.
change, and being able to actually communicate with everyone in the program as well. It's easier now. It's all on just one app instead of two. But anyway, um, there's a wins tab. Like you can constantly like post like the wins. You keep up with it, and then it's very nice to be able to see everyone else winning as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause like the big thing for me is if somebody's going to work with us, there's a couple levels of motivation. Obviously, there's you and your coach and holding you accountable, but seeing people that are further along and not as far as long, and then they can kind of be there, like, obviously every Wednesday we post a whole big batch of,
Yeah,
highlight
just
people.
win
Yeah,
highlights,
dude.
win.
Yeah, just wins. And the thing is like I know people come here for the results. Like that's what you're here for, and you've proven that you've got really good results. Um, and I know when you first went in, you actually did something we don't do very often, but you kind of did like a 1 month, right? You're like, well, I just kind of want to
Yeah,
see what it was. And then after that first month, you're like, all right, like I'm all in.
I
You
was bought
re-signed.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
you re-signed for a whole nother year just for those who are listening, because he's like, I'm in it, dude. And again, like I normalize that because not everybody comes in both feet in. Obviously, emotionally, we want that too. But I'm like, dude, I'm not worried. You're gonna meet your coach. You're gonna love him. He's awesome.
Yeah,
You're gonna, yeah, you're gonna be a good
got the
fit because he's
best coach
also,
out there. Just saying.
yeah. And Josh, just for those of you listening, Josh is actually a previous client. He went through our program. He's a fire captain. Lost like 80 pounds in less than a year. Went from
Yeah,
very overweight to six pack shredded. He has kids, lives that
yeah.
busy life. So when we hired him on as a coach, I'm like, dude, I know you're going to be able to just like dial it in and speak to your clients. You've been through this process. You're the living proof of what we do. And so very, very blessed to have Josh as part of the team for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Um, I guess my another question is just like, and we kind of touched on this, but how's the experience been with just like your coach and the community overall? And I asked that, I'll preface this. I asked that because the number one thing in the industry that I see wrong, because some of our clients have worked with other coaches or like dabbled in online coaching with V Shred you know, or whatever stuff. They're like, ah, man, my coach didn't get back to me, or, the
Oh
customer service
no.
wasn't good. How do you feel like the overall experience has been?
I will say it is way better having like obviously I don't know a whole lot about like in-person coaching, but I'll say the reason why the online coaching is 100% better is 24/7. Now, granted, I know they have a day that they can, be off or whatever, and they'll let you know that. But I mean, they're available 24/7 to answer questions that you have. They get back with you like really quickly. He's Coach Josh has always been there. Like when I ask him a question, he answers it within a couple of hours, for
Mhm.
sure. But you also have to remember he's on shift too. But well, I don't
Yeah.
know what shift, but he answers your questions when you have them.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I'll touch on the in-person thing for a little bit. Those of you watching, if you're like, man, maybe like, why do you guys do online? Really quick rundown. In-person doesn't work for this community. It just doesn't. Like,
It doesn't.
guys have too many. Number one, it's a larger investment. So I think the money matters, right? It's a larger investment and you actually get a lot less. Like, number one issue is scheduling. You're having to like go to the trainer, meet the trainer. You work out from home. A lot of our firefighters, they might go to the gym, but they're also at the station. And unless you're getting just completely annihilated with calls, like you probably have time to train. And I get it on duty. You're not going to be doing like balls to the walls workout, like we have to safety and stuff like that. But just the fact that you can train, maybe you're at a slower department, whatever, like it's wildly more convenient. The other thing is in-person trainers like don't do nutrition. Obviously, we do fully custom nutrition. And then really the coaching is the communication, the education, the guidance, and
Yes.
accountability. And
Yes.
the problem with in-person training is it's like you show up, you work out, you leave, and then you're just like off on your own. So you're like, what do I eat? What do I do? Oh, I don't feel like going to the gym today. And then you see your trainer, 2 days a week, and they're like, did you go to the gym? You're like, no. And they're like, no worries, let's work out. Yeah. There's
Right.
no, there's no actual continuation. And so now that we've been had this company for 4 years, 1,200 something transformations later, it's like we have proven that this is a way more effective thing. And the good thing for us is we have people in our program, probably at least like 30 or 40 that have done in-person training. And guess what? It didn't work for them. Some of them worked with trainers for years and spent $10,000. And, like, I mean, it's just something where it's like, if they would have been like, Steph, and this was the best thing ever, I would say, good, go do it in person. But what
Right.
happens is there's always a missing component. So when we built this company, it was like, how do we fill those gaps? And as we get people through and tighten up systems and, like you said, moving the community and just making things better and these constant improvements, it works,
Th-
man.
That's what I was going to say. Not mention names, but some people will actually have these in-person coaches, and because it's such a strict schedule, set schedule, you most of the time you have to pay in advance, and if you end up canceling your appointment, you're just out that money because like they're not going
Mhm.
to refund you. You're out. Versus online coaching, if there's a time that I can't make a call, I'm just like, hey, I can't make it this day. Guess what? We just move it to another day.
Yeah, yeah, and that
It's
and
the flexibility.
yeah,
It's just way better because nobody has time. What if you can't make it?
yeah, yeah. That's a huge downfall. And when I used to do in person, I trained people just like this community, and that was a huge thing, which is why I did online. And then I think another last component is like most first responders. Mostly we work with cops, firefighters, nurses, and some military. And you guys are hard workers, but a lot of you are very all or nothing mindset too, which is part of the type A people, right? You're like, if I'm not going to just go and do it, and I'm not going to go on these days and do it, like, then I'm not going to do it at all. And the problem
Right.
is, we do something called uh, flexible structure, which I know is like kind of an ironic oxymoron, whatever you want to call it. But it's like you have to have structure, but you also need flexibility. And the problem is when you're left to your own devices, it's like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, and then you miss it. That's not what we're talking about. Because if we're like something comes up, you do move it, but now you're held accountable. And we're not just moving it to a random day. It's like, okay, if I move this, then I have enough time for this muscle to recover. Like it's thought out, it's thorough. And that
Yes.
way you have the flexibility to move things where you're not going to beat yourself up or fall off the wagon, but
Right.
you also have the accountability where it's like, Leroy, do your crap, man. Come on, get your
Yeah.
workout in, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's the biggest game changer. And I think um, people, I know accountability is kind of like, I don't want to be held accountable, especially if you're like me. Sometimes I have a little pride and I'm like, nah, I could do it. I don't need somebody to babysit me. And I tell people that's not what it is because Josh doesn't
No.
babysit you, right?
No,
It's
he does not.
it's one person getting with another person. We're not up here and you're down here. It's like, I want you to succeed. And maybe sometimes I got to be on your butt a little bit, and that's okay. But most of the time, it's finding out you, like your coach gets to know you, like you said, you're not a number, and just pushing you. Like they get
Yeah.
where you are. Like I understand Leroy, so I know how to kind of push him and talk to him and challenge him. It is kind of psychological based, and that's all it is. Because we have some people that are really high performers and SWAT and come in that are really fit that want to get more fit. But we have tons of clients that just are like starting from zero and want to lose weight that know they need accountability. But I think that that's the unsexy thing to admit. Like, yes, I do need somebody on my butt, but the thing is, it's not forever. And as you've experienced too, is and you're very accountable and consistent. But like, yeah, you need more help in the beginning. But as you progress, it's less help. It's more
That's
talking to your coach than it is like, did you do your stuff? It's like, hey man, I did my stuff, and we're cheering you on, and we're pushing you, and we're challenging you.
I find myself more talking to my coach just about work.
Yeah,
Just that friendship you build with your coach is like you'll after you get your fundamentals down and it becomes more of like you're talking to a friend.
yeah, and that's what I want it to be. All the coaches that I've had, fitness and business coaches, we kind of shoot the shit, and it's nice because I'm still getting the work done. But
Yep.
like, I want somebody that I talk to. I don't want it to be this like transactional, like, yes, I did my
Right.
stuff, coach. Like, it's not going to feel fun. And that's part of the reason that I'm like anti, you're a number. I'm like, no, no, no. I want to know you, man, like your life, your goals. If you have a wedding coming up or a thing, like, I want that friendship. And that's actually
Yep.
the biggest thing that gets people to stay with us and re-sign. They're like, I really like my coach. Obviously, you're here for the results. So the workouts have to be effective. But yeah, it's a good balance, and that's really what I want in a coaching program. So I'm glad we're doing that for you. I guess the last question I'd have is, what would you say to somebody that is on the fence? Because that's part of the reason I do these. Just surprise, guys.
Yeah.
Is like I know somebody's going to watch this and be like, "Well, I want to hear from real people that are actually in this program. They're not like bots or you like bought these
Yeah.
reviews on online can be kind of sketchy." But like,
Well,
you know the fears and hesitations that maybe you had, or you watched some interviews before you joined too. So what's like one thing you would say if somebody's on the fence?
well, besides the fact that I'm terrible at interviews, I'm just like,
No, you're doing great.
but I'm horrible at that kind of stuff. Just I get in my head. But I'll say, don't don't waste any more time with your health. Get signed on. Just join. Just do it. If you're on the fence, I've got the results. I mean, it's it's totally worth doing. Like I can't put it into words, but it's worth it. It's changed my life. It really has. Like
Yeah.
it means a lot to me that these guys invest their time to help you get better. I mean, I know you pay for it, obviously, but the time that they invest in you, it's worth it. Like
Yeah.
it really is.
Well, I appreciate that, man. And I know you posted something in the group, I think a month ago, and you're like, dude, you guys have like literally changed my life. And that's a big thing because I want you to get in shape and I'm a dad. So I get that. Like,
Yeah,
for me, it's like, I want you to become a better man,
yeah,
like literally. Now, I'm also just a firm believer that the base of that pyramid is fitness. Because if you can sit there and you can be disciplined and you can be structured and you can follow a plan and you can set an example, now you're a good leader,
right.
right? And now you can lead from the front more and lead in your marriage, lead in your parenting better, lead at work better. And I can't tell you how many of our people in our community, when I do these calls and I do, a lot of conversations too within the app and stuff, and they're like, dude, I look good, but if you knew what happens, the way that my wife and I interact, or if you like, I had another guy that I talked to the other week was like, his son's like I think 12 or 13 doing football, and he's like, I would try to kind of get him to work out, and he wouldn't listen to me. And I started the program. I'm down 20 pounds. He's like, Dad, I want to go to the gym with you. I'm like, you're never. That's the win, dude. That right there. And now he's like, I kind of knew what I was doing in the gym, but now I'm like, hey, we're gonna go do this, and my son's in football, and I'm like, that's epic. And I live that life because I have my son's 15th birthday is actually the day. So, it's one of those things where it's like I grew up as a young parent and I had to set that example for my son. And it was like it's a leadership thing because kids don't listen to you. They just follow what you do kind of thing. And
Right.
so
Yeah,
setting that
you're right.
example and setting that example is powerful, dude. So I'm glad that it's changed more than just your fitness. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what I hope this program could do.
it's our job as parents to make sure our kids are not useless. I'm just shooting
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is our responsibility as men to make sure our kids are not useless. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's our job. Like and also I don't want my 12-year-old son to be able to outperform me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. Like I did a call the other day with a client that joined. He goes, my son's taller than me now. He's not stronger than me, but
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, I have a son and I don't want to let him kick my ass. And
that's
he's like,
right.
he's like 55 and he goes, and all the young bucks at the station, um, yeah, they ain't going to show me up. And I'm like, let's
No,
go,
that's
dude.
right. That's right.
So,
That's right.
so it's a
That's
win-win,
good.
man. It's a win-win. Well, I
That's good.
appreciate you jumping on. And this is, thank you for taking your time. You're crushing it. I'm excited. I know you got, a long time in the program left, which is good. A lot of progress. You've had a good physical transformation, a really good physical transformation.
Oh,
Good, good,
massive.
good mental shift too. And then the fact that you're seeing it bleed into other areas, that's the win. It's a little bit of identity shift because I've been on both spectrums, dude, where I kind of I'd say let myself go, but I definitely wasn't structured. I was underperforming as, you know, I'd probably eaten too much fast food, too many beers, and I've been on that side, and I've also been on the side where you can dial in and but have balance, and that's really what it comes down to, man. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you jumping on, and I look forward to you continuing in the program and crushing it, dude.
Yeah. One last thing. Hopefully, you can
Yeah,
use your fancy editing skills. Maybe you can add that before and after, and that way they can actually, see the results and the difference.
yeah, I will. I'll plop it up. Yeah, man. No, and then when we post a thumbnail on YouTube, you'll see your before and after and some of your like,
Perfect.
things that you've that
That
you've
way they can see it. They
transformed.
can see it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you jumping on, dude. We'll see you on the inside and keep crushing it, okay?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.